Vaheguru 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 Vaheguru
तेरे कवन कवन गुण कह कह गावां, तू साहिब गुणी निधाना। तुमरी महिमा बरन ना सको, तू ठाकुर ऊच भगवाना। तेरे गुण बहुते मैं एक ना जानिया, मैं मूर्ख किछ दीजै। परणवत नानक सुन मेरे साहिबा, डुबदा पत्थर लीजै। परणवत नानक सुन मेरे साहिबा, डुबदा पत्थर लीजै। आओ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਕਾਗਰ ਕਰਕੇ to focus our minds in the charan of Tan Tan Sri Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Maharaj। तो आओ गाज वाज के आखो वाहेगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहेगुरु जी की फतेह। Every time we hear the name of Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Padshah, the first few things that come to our mind is Guru Sahib's age, being very young, and the second thing that comes to our mind, the sacrifice that Guru Sahib Ji gave in Delhi. The sacrifice meaning when they went out and healed the people of Delhi, the disease that has spread over Delhi of smallpox. And they went out and healed those people, not being concerned about their own selves. And that's the very end of their life, of their physical body's life. That's the first thing, one of the first things that come to our mind. But where did this come from? Just like we said, Guru Har Rai Padshah Ji shadowed their grandfather, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Padshah. Throughout their young age, they were with their grandfather, watching each thing that Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji is doing, like we went through last week about the birds. Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji would be feeding the birds, and who would be watching? Guru Har Rai Padshah as a child. The same way, this is what Guru Harkrishan Padshah Ji did with their father. But if we just look at the nature a little bit about Guru Har Rai Padshah and how it was transferred to Guru Harkrishan Padshah, that was able to do that at the age of 8 years old. Some even say they were only 7 in Delhi, to be able to go out and do that to the people that were suffering. Just before Guru Padshah Ji was born, just before Guru Harkrishan Padshah Ji was born, what was the nature of Guru Har Rai Padshah Ji like? This nature of being helpful to others, to want to take their suffering and diseases away. What did Guru Har Rai Padshah do first? The father of Guru Harkrishan Padshah, they set up a medical store. They would get different types of ingredients and get people to go out and find jadiyan buttiyan, herbal medicines, those type of ingredients that you couldn't go and find, that would help heal people, and Guru Har Rai Padshah kept those. And they would make medicines out of them. So if anybody needed help, they knew that they can go to Guru Har Rai Padshah, that nobody else will have these ingredients, and they will have this for us. So what happened one day? The son of the ruler of that time, Shah Jahan, whose name was Dara Shikoh. Dara Shikoh was the eldest son of Shah Jahan, who was the ruler of that time in Guru Har Rai Patsha Ji's Sama. He came over by such an illness one day. And some people say that it was actually his younger brother, Aurangzeb that you've all heard of, who was the youngest son of Shah Jahan, the youngest brother of Dara Shikoh. Some people say it was Aurangzeb that gave his brother to eat something that made him ill, because he always had his eyes set on the throne of his father. But he knew that Dara Shikoh was the oldest, so he tried to do many things to get rid of him. Anyway, one day, such a bamari took over Dara Shikoh that his father starts to get worried. Shah Jahan, he had much love for his son, because his son was Agyakari, a very righteous person, always listened to his father. So Shah Jahan tries many things, calls many doctors. He's the ruler of the time, he can call anyone he wants. Everybody failed. In the end, because they couldn't find anything, they didn't know what it was, so out of fear they started to make things up. And eventually they came out with something that blew everyone off. And they said that he's eaten the mustache of a lion. And that's what's upset his stomach. And we don't know what to do for this. So somebody said that you need these particular herbs. One of them was harada, one of them was a particular type of long. And they said, but the only person that will have this is in the house of Guru Nanak. And today his name is Guru Har Rai Patsha. Shah Jahan said, I can't go there. He said, I can't go there even though it's a matter of my son's life. He says, because during my rule, under my rule, there's certain people that ruled over certain lands, but it was under my rule they went out and fought battles with Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Patsha, their grandfather. How is that house going to help us? They'll turn us away straight away. And somebody shouted out and said, no, Guru Nanak's house is not like that. Khair, Shah Jahan sends 2 people to the house of Guru Nanak. And they are going there worried, thinking that we're going to be turned away, thinking that we may even be attacked. And as these 2 guys walked in, and they put their hands together and they said to Guru Har Rai Patsha, they said, Shah Jahan has sent us because he's worried about his son. We need these particular ingredients. And as they are saying these words, they're filled with fear, thinking, we're going to be turned away. They've only got to they just said the 3rd ingredient that they needed. And Guru Patsha didn't even look at them. And Guru Patsha turned around and said to the Sikh, "Kande o Sikho, kande sheti karo, kande leke aao." He says, hurry up and go and bring the ingredients that they need. And then looking in shock, thinking, is this for real? They came, but they didn't have faith. And Guru Patsha gets the ingredients and they grind them together and make a medicine. And Patsha Ji puts it into this little piece of paper, into a puri as they call it, and they put it forward. And Patsha kahan lage, kende, tell him to take this medicine, but it won't work until he uses this medicine. And they said, which medicine is that? We thought this is all he needs. And Guru Har Rai Patsha turns around and says, can they tell him to read the Shabad of Guru Amar Das Ji Patsha? Guru Har Rai Patsha starts to say the Shabad, and these 2 servants that came from Dara Shikoh, from Shah Jahan, starts to memorize these words. And Guru Har Rai Patsha sing out these words and say, Jagat Jalandhar rakh le apni kirpa dhar, jit dware ubre titte leho ubar. Guru Har Rai Patsha ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਤੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ. What does this shabad mean? It's a benti, it's an ardas. It's a jagat jalanda rakh le, that this world is on fire. Jagat meaning the world, jalanda is burning. Jagat jalanda rakh le, and save me from this burning world. What is this world burning in? It's burning in desires. Whoever's got desires, it won't let you rest in peace. Khair jagal jalanda rakh le apni kirpa dhar, shower me with your grace. And Guru Har Rai Pacha says, don't worry, I don't mean my grace. Apni kirpa dhar, कि तू अपनी कृपा नु, your grace, shower it upon me. And Guru Har Rai Pacha, this is the house of Guru Nanak. This is Guru Nanak Pacha's house. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜਨਾ ਆ. That this is what not Guru Nanak tried to do, that connect people to their body. This is ਆਪਣੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਧਾਰ ਜਿਤ ਦੁਆਰੇ ਉਭਰੇ ਤਿੱਤੇ ਲਿਹੋ ਉਬਾਰ ਜਿਤ ਦੁਆਰੇ. ਦੁਆਰੇ means way. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਰਜੀ ਰਾਸਤੇ ਜਿਤ ਦੁਆਰੇ. ਜਿਤ ਦੁਆਰੇ means whichever way it takes. Tell Dara Shakor to say these words to Waheguruji, to Allah. Tell him to shout out to Allah and say, now whatever it takes to save me. Jit dware ubre. This word ubre, what does it mean? It comes from the word ubarna. Ubarna means when there's a pit in the floor. And if somebody falls into that pit, and if they give their arm, and if somebody goes and pulls their arm, when you pull their arm out, it means ubarna. To save them, to take them out of a pit. Guru Har Rai Pacha is saying, say to Dara Shakor to say this to Allah, ke jit dware ubre, whatever it takes now to save me, titte leho ubar, just save me. Whatever it takes. They put their hands together and go back. Guru Sikh Pyaro, as Dara Shakor starts to take this medicine, ਨਾਲ Guru Sahib ne ਉਹਦੀ ਆਤਮਾ ਵਾਸਤੇ Guru da shabd bhi de ditta. Alongside healing his body, Guru Sahib has given him the Guru's Bani to heal his soul as well. To feel connected to Waheguruji Akal Purkh, even whatever he calls him. He takes this medicine and he sings this shabad. And when he gets better, because he had reached such a state where he couldn't even walk anymore, he couldn't even get on his feet anymore. Where did this nature come from for Guru Harkrishan Ji Padshah, that they were able to have no fear of their own life and go and heal the people of Delhi? Guru Har Rai Padshah gives this medicine. Dara Shakor takes the medicine and takes the medicine of the Shabad as well. He wasn't able to walk, he wasn't able to get up. But within a few days, he gets on his feet. And his father's taken back with so much happiness, and he says to his son, he says, I'll do anything for you. Tell me, where do you want to go? Where shall I take you, my son? Shall I throw a party for you? Shall I call everybody? And he says, there's only one place left for me, Dara Shakor said. And he says, take me to the charan of Guru Har Rai Padshah. He told me to sing Apni Kirpa Taar. When I was singing that shower me with your grace, I couldn't think of anyone else but the seventh form of Guru Nanak. Dara Shakor says that Jit Dware Ubre, there is no other way for me now. The only way left for me now is through Guru Har Rai Padshah. He formed so much Shraddha and love for Guru Har Rai Padshah from that day. And the time came, which we're going to look at later on, he did darshan as well of Padshah Ji, not on one occasion, but on 2 to 3 occasions. Guru Sikh Pyaro, it's now 1656. In that same place where Guru Har Rai Padshah Ji was born, and now, at the age of 26 years old, Guru Har Rai Padshah, his body is now 26 years old, this Srir Karke. And in the house of Guru Har Rai Padshah, Mata Krishan Kaur de Kukhon, from the womb of Mata Krishan Kaur, came upon this earth in 1656 in the same place in Kirtpur Sahib is Tan Tan Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Padshah. Guru Sikh Pyareo, as Guru Harkrishan Padshah Ji is growing up, they are constantly with their father. And what do they get to see and experience? That my father, he doesn't care about somebody's authority and how big they may be in status. But instead, my father, he's taken on that same role that Guru Nanak Padshah did. What concept did Guru Nanak Padshah live upon? On their own words, Guru Nanak Parkash said, Nicha andar neech jaat, neechi hu at neech, Nanak tin ke sang saath, vaddiyan seo kya rees. Guru Nanak Parkash said, Nicha andar, amongst the lowest, Nicha andar neech jaat, the ones are the lowest of castes. Nicha andar neech jaat, neechi hu at neech, 4 times they said it. Who is the absolute lowest of the lowest of the lowest of the lowest caste, Guru Nanak Parkash says. They don't only mean this on the outside, they're talking about who is as low as this from the inside. How tis kol kumaya gur mate hriday garibi aave. Who is got poverty from the inside, from the heart, who feels low from inside. Nanak tin ke sang saath, vaddiyan seo kya rees. Guru Nanak Parkash says, I can't compete with those that are so high up. High up meaning which way? In ego. And then Nanak tin ke sang, this is, I like to be amongst the lowest. Guru Nanak Parkash is saying, this is, you know why? And jithe neech samaliyan tithe nadar teri baksis. This is the reason for that is, it's because jithe neech samaliyan, because you look after those that are the lowest of the lowest. Meaning those that are living in humility, that's where your grace goes. So Guru Nanak Parkash says, I'm going to do something clever. I'm going to go and sit with them because I know you take care of those. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji said this and did this. And Guru Har Rai Parkash is also doing this. Guru Har Rai Parkash is sitting in Kirtupur Sahib. There was many Raja Maharaja coming and falling at the feet of Guru Har Rai Parkash. Many kings coming and falling at the feet of Guru Har Rai Parkash. But today, Guru Sikh Pyareo, there's an old lady, a Bajorg Bibi, sitting at home by the name Mata Tabo. And from inside, she's feeling so low. She's got nobody left in her family. Everybody has passed away, from her children to her husband. She's looking down now at her Mare Karam. She's thinking that I've not done anything good in my life. I was lost in my youth first. I was lost in my beauty when I was growing up. And I did many things. And now she starts to regret her life. She's regretting so much that they said even her beauty had changed and her whole color of her skin starts to change and go black. And she sits there and cries. And somebody passing by and says, Mataji, why do you sit here crying? And she says, I'm just waiting to die because I've done so many bad things in my life. There's no point me even being upon this earth. I'm a weight on this earth. And they said, no. They said, don't live in that hope of dying. This is instead, there's somebody sitting in this tarti, a tarti called Kirtpur Sahib, that will bring you back to life. There's somebody sitting there that pichale augan baksale prab aage marg pave. He will forget everything you have done, just like a mother does for her son. Sut aprad kart hai jete, janani cheet na rakhas tete. Sut aprad kart hai jete, just like a son. Sut aprad meaning sins. Sut aprad kart hai jete, doesn't matter how many sins he does. Janani meaning the mother, the one that gave birth to that son. Janani cheet meaning remember. Janani cheet na rakhas tete, she doesn't keep any of them in her mind. Just like this is what this Guru is like. Go to the house of Guru Nanak and your past sins will be forgiven and he will show you the way forward. Mata Tabo gets ready. She gets the grain and she starts grinding. She starts to make prashada. She starts to make a shawl. She starts to make a blanket for Guru Har Rai Parkash herself. She gets the cotton. She twists the cotton. She starts to make this with her own hands. The Turpi Mata. And one day she gets up and she starts to walk towards Kirtpur Sahib and she starts to think in her mind, no, they won't accept a sinner like me. But not realizing this is the house that says Patit Udaran Pa Haran Har Anath Ke Nath. Gursikh Pyareo, this is that house. Patit Udaran. Patit means sinners. Udaran means the Saviour. He is the one that saves the sinners. Pa Haran, he takes away your fears. She's fearing that I'm going to die with all these sins. But Patit Udaran, Pa Haran, he'll take away all your fears. Har Anath ke Nath, somebody without a master. She's got nobody left. The people that she spent time with in her youth, there's nobody standing by her now. But there's somebody, Har Akal Purkh, for us, Waheguru Ji is our Guru, and Guru Harai Pacha is sitting there in Kirtpur Sahib that is going to become her, Har Anath ke Nath, the master of the masterless. She's walking. She stops and she goes forward. She stops and she goes forward. Eventually, she gets to the darbar, to the court of Guru Harai Pacha. Just like you see a takhat here, Guru Harai Pacha is sitting on a takhat. Somebody is doing Chaur Sahib. There's a canopy. Shatar Daya. Somebody is holding up an umbrella. And when she comes to the back of the darbar, she looks around. When she looks around, it's filled with Maharaje, with many kings, with many chiefs, with many princes. There's loads of people there. And she thinks, who am I? She says, I can't go in front of the Guru. Look at all these people. Look at me. And she stands right at the back with her head down. And she thinks, "Main duro hi darshan karke ta main chala javengi," and I will leave. Gursikh Pyareo, Guru Harai Paatshah apne takhtan upar baithe ne. The Guru Sahib ji ekdam uth gaye. Guru Sahib at once gets up from their takhat. The Paatshah kende Sikho liao koda, bring my horse straight away. Paatshah ji gets upon their horse. And this is that same Guru whose food comes on a beautiful thal, on a beautiful plate, silver plates that comes to the Guru. Everything organized well, and Guru Sahib sits on their throne eating their prashada. And Guru Sahib gets on their horse and rides straight to who? To Mata Tabo. And this is Mata Vek Upparno. This is, oh Mata, look up. And she puts her head up. And her eyes are filled with tears. And she's thinking, I can't give this prashada, it's all dry. They have such beautiful fresh food here in the court of Guru Nanak. How can I give this dry, sukki hui rutti? Tab Paatshah kehne lage, kende Mata, kende kyun lukoi jani ha? This is, oh mother, this is why are you hiding it from me? I'm so hungry today. Kende Mata, aaj badi bhukh lagi hai. Kende kad prashada, ta kende keval prashada na kad, kende jedi tu ganda bhi utte rakh ke le aayi hai, oh bhi kad. That ganda, that onion that you have put on your prashada, I want that onion too. Mata, I've never been so hungry. Paatshah ne ode, as Paatshah is eating that prashada, it feels like Mata Tabo is becoming alive again. Jeve Guru Sahib burki paunde ne muh vich, as Guru Sahib is taking the burki and putting it in their mouth, it feels like Mata Tabo's paps are being washed. It feels like she's being rejuvenated and becoming brand new. Ode paap sare bakshe gaye. ਤਾਂ ਆਪ ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਇਹ shawl ਪਾਇਆ and put that shawl over Guru Sahib. And people say today, Pyareo, going back when I did the first talk for basics of Sikhi, going back a few months in November, which was for Bandi Shor, for Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji Paatshah's Bandi Shor Divas in Guru Nanak Gurdwara in Smethwick. As we were going home, there was a Singh sitting in the car with me. And the Singh said to me, he's a sevadar, he does seva for basics of Sikhi in London. Oh Singh mainu kehn laga, kenda veer, kenda I'm not quite ready to take Amrit yet. And I said, theek hai, I go, that's not a problem. I go, kyon, ki gal hui? And he said, the reason for that is, he goes, I can't read Jap Sahib properly yet. Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Bani. And he says, I can't read Jap Sahib properly yet. I want to be able to read it in a proper manner. Gursikh Pyareo, utthe ek Sakhi yaad aa gayi. And I remembered a Sakhi at that time. Same Mata Tabo is standing there. Mata Tabo is standing there and looking up at Guru Harai Patsha, and she knew one pangti. She knew one line for Gurbani, and she's looking at Patsha ji and singing, Ho Papi, Tu Bakshanhar. Ho Papi, Tu Bakshanhar. Ho means I, and she's singing to Guru Harai Patsha in so much love. You imagine that moment. She's just given the shawl herself. Guru Sahib just ate a prashada, and she's reading, she's singing out to Guru Harai Patsha, looking at their chehra, saying, Ho Papi, I am a sinner, but Tum Bakshanhar, you are the forgiver. She kept singing this, and her eyes went closed. She lost her mind. And what is she singing now? Tu Papi, Ho Bakshanhar. She mixes her words up and she starts to sing, you are the sinner, Guru Harai Patsha, I am the forgiver. She's singing, Tu Papi, Ho Bakshanhar. The Sikh fadan lage mata nu. Sikh daude ekdam. The Sikhs come running and they're about to grab hold of Mata and shake her to, what are you doing? What are you saying? And Guru Patsha kende, Singo hatjo, Sikho hatjo. They said, don't touch her. You can only see what her lips are reading. Ask me what her heart is saying. Many people sing Gurbani today, but Guru Harai Patsha says, I can hear the cries of the people's hearts. Says, you ask me, she is probably one of the only ones that is truly saying this from her heart, and she's saying to me that Home Papi, she truly believes this, that she is a sinner. And she truly is saying that I am the forgiver. She goes, Baljit says, listen with my ears. My ears are beyond this body. Listen with the inner ears. Gursikh Pyaro, Maharaj ji di inni kirpa hui. People are today saying, Tusi itihas kyun sunaune ha? People are saying, why are you telling these fairy tale stories? Why don't you only translate Gurbani? Gursikh Pyaro, the power of the Guru's history. This one Sakhi Gursikh Pyaro, inni kirpa hui. So much kirpa happened upon telling this Sakhi from the way home from Guru Nanak Gurdwara, which is only a 5 minutes drive home to my house. Telling this Sakhi to this Singh. When he went back home, the Singh texts me to say, Paji, can you find out for me when the next Amrit Sanchar is? And Maharaj di Kirpana, within 1 or 2 weeks of that Sakhi, he took Amrit. That's the power of the Guru's history, of the Guru's itihas. Khair Gursikh Pyareo, Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji Patsha. They are watching the nature of Guru Harai Patsha. And Gursikh Pyareo, and as all of this is going on the other side, many things are taking place as well between the rulers. Shah Jahan falls very ill. Upon falling ill, his older son, Dara Shikoh, who Guru Sahib Ji healed, he starts to take over and start to give out orders. Upon seeing this, his brother starts to become jealous, which is Aurangzeb. Khair, a lot happened. Many things took place, but in the end, Aurangzeb took his father as a prisoner, Shah Jahan. He actually killed his own brother, Dara Shikoh. Just before he killed his own brother, Dara Shikoh, so he would get the throne, Dara Shikoh visited Guru Patsha, Guru Harai Patsha. And because he visited Guru Harai Patsha, people start to feel the ears of Aurangzeb when he sat on the throne. So now he sits on the throne, people start to feel his ears that Guru Harai Patsha, he actually went and helped. Guru Harai Patsha helped Dara Shikoh against you. So Aurangzeb, he sent out a letter to Guru Harai Patsha to come and visit Aurangzeb. When Guru Harai Patsha receives this letter, Guru Harai Patsha calls their son over. They call their son over, their eldest son, whose name is Ram Rai. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਰਾਮ ਰਾਏ ਬੱਚੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਨੂੰ. You are going to go to Delhi, you're going to go to Aurangzeb. But remember one thing, ਤੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦਾ ਭੈ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਆ. You're going to keep fear of Guru Nanak when you go there. If you keep fear of Guru Nanak, then Guru Nanak will sit upon your tongue. If you keep fear of Guru Nanak, then Guru Nanak will speak through you. Go, my son. Ram Rai then travels over and goes to Delhi. But Ram Rai has got many powers, many miraculous powers. Very powerful. And when he reaches the court of Aurangzeb, he gets caught up in the moment. He's taken back by his kingdom. And he starts to get praised by Aurangzeb. Why? Because he shows weakness. What is a sign of weakness? He starts to show miracles. Whoever shows miracles is a sign of weakness. He shows his weakness, and our itihas writes, our history writes, he showed ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹਨੇ 72 ਕਰਾਮਾਤਾਂ ਵਿਖਾਈਆਂ. 72 different miracles he showed Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb used to love these type of things. He loved to see miracles. He believed whoever can show a miracle is a true saint. He would never get enough. He would always want to see more and more. He was taken back by Ram Rai. He kept Ram Rai in his court. Ram Rai is very happy. He's thinking, my father will be so happy with me. Not realizing he's gone completely against the house of Guru Nanak. Not realizing that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah, Tera kiya meetha lage, har naam padarth Nanak mange. They showed the world how to remain in his will sweetly, how to accept his will sweetly. But instead, Guru Arjan Dev Ji could have showed any miracle. But the miracle was to stay in his hukam. That is the miracle of Guru Nanak's house, is to stay in his will. And Ram Rai doesn't know he's gone completely the opposite direction. And one day, Aurangzeb is sitting there and says to Ram Rai, can you tell me a translation? Arth sana, because Aurangzeb used to listen to the arth of the Quran as well. He was taken back once with a translation that Bhai Nandlal Ji did, who was a friend of Bahadur Shah, the son of Aurangzeb. Khair. Aurangzeb says to Ram Rai, tell me a translation of a Bani from a line from Guru Nanak Parkash Ji's Bani. He says that I have heard that Guru Nanak Parkash has said, Mitti Musalman ki pede pei kumyar, Kar pande itta kiya jaldi kare pukar. This is from Asa Diwar. Aurangzeb said, what does this mean? You tell me. He obviously had looked this up already. He knew what it meant. But he was testing. He was testing Ram Rai. Remember, Guru Harai Pacha said to the son, keep fear of Guru Nanak. But what did he do instead? He feared Aurangzeb. Where did his karamata go now? What happened to all these miracles? Instead, he feared Aurangzeb, and he says, no, you've been mistaken. You've either misread it, or there was a misprint, or somebody's told you by mistake. It's not mitti Musliman ki, it's mitti Beiman ki. He changed the word of Guru Nanak's Bani. Guru Sikh Pyareo, just before we look at what did this mean, what did this signify, let's just look at the translation a little bit. This verse from Guru Nanak Parkash's Bani is saying, Mitti Musliman ki. Mitti Musliman ki is talking about where the Muslims are buried, within the soil. A Muslim is buried and not cremated. This is what Guru Nanak Parkash is referring to. And what they believe is that they are buried because one day they are going to rise. And if you are to burn them, then they will continue to burn and their souls will cry out. Because they are going to rise again one day and they're going to be judged and they're going to cry out. But Guru Nanak Parkash is saying, Mitti Musliman ki. But what happens sometimes? What does a kumyar do? Kumyar is somebody that makes things out of clay. He goes and looks for that type of soil. He looks for clay. Jino apa Punjabi te cheekni mitti keh denne ha. Very hard soil. That helps him to make different types of pande. And Guru Nanak Parkash is saying, Mitti Musliman ki, And Guru Nanak Parkash says, what about then? Have you not thought? Ke pede pei kumyar, say if a kumyar comes, somebody that makes things out of clay. Say if one of them come and pick this same mitti after hundreds of years where this Muslim has been buried. You have said that you can't cremate them, otherwise they will cry out whilst they are being burnt. And Guru Nanak Parkash is saying, say if a kumyar comes along and takes this same soil, because he sees it fit to make a pot. And then pede, pei kumyar, pede means to put it on the potter's wheel. And it says, say if they take that same soil and put it on the potter's wheel. And Guru Nanak Parkash says, have you not thought of this? Kaad, pande, and they make pande out of it. Itta, kiyan, they make bricks out of it. And then Guru Nanak Parkash says, what about then? Does that potter then hear the crying of that Muslim? Jaldi kare pukar, whilst it's being burnt, because when it's put in the kiln and it's heated, Guru Nanak Parkash says, can you not then hear them scream out? No fear for the world. So fearless Guru Nanak Parkash. And this is what Aurangzeb wanted translated from Ram Rai, to say, is this what Guru Nanak really said? But instead, out of fear, not for Guru Nanak, but out of fear for Aurangzeb, he changed the word and says, mitti beiman ki. Change the word completely. Beiman is somebody that goes against somebody's principles. So completely taking the Muslims out of the equation. Guru Sikh Pyare, you know what he's just done? Ram Rai wanted the throne of his father. That's why he's trying to please Aurangzeb. He's thinking, if I can please the ruler, my father will be happy with me. He didn't realize that who is the Bani. Guru Sikh Pyareo, Bani kaun hai? Bani Guru. Guru hai, Bani. He doesn't realize what he's done. He's not just changed a word. He's actually taken his own father and thrown him out of his life. Guru Har Rai Parkash is the Bani. Guru Har Rai Parkash is Guru Nanak. It's the same Jyot. That Jyot is the Bani. Our Guru isn't a body. Our Guru isn't a body. Our Guru is the Bani. Our Guru is a Jyot. He actually took Guru Har Rai Parkash out of his life. And that's why when Guru Har Rai Parkash heard what has happened, Guru Har Rai Parkash turned and round and said, what about this son? This says, Aj to baad kise Sikh ne kende ode mathe nahi lagna. Kende, I will not see him again. Tell him to whichever way he's facing to remain facing that way. Not to look towards this way again. And no Sikh is to meet him again. Because he's altered the word of Guru Nanak. He's taken Guru Nanak out of his life. Guru Sikh Pyareo, Guru Har Rai Parkash ne bachan kar dite apne ek putra vaste. Look, the same father, the same mother these two brothers have got. Guru Harkrishan Parkash, Ram Rai. Baba Ram Rai, they've got the same father, same mother. But Parkash ne Ram Rai vaste ki bachan kite ke ede mathe nahi lagna. And this is nobody is to meet him again. And Guru Harkrishan Parkash bare Guru Sikh Pyareo, Chandi di war de andar Guru Gobind Singh Ji Parkash ne keh ditta, kende Sri Harkrishan ਧਿਆਈਏ jis dithe sab dukh jaye. On one side, the Guru has said about one son that nobody is to see him again. I don't want to see him again. On the other side, Guru Gobind Singh Ji has said about the other son, kende Sri Harkrishan ਧਿਆਈਏ. ਧਿਆਈਏ means to focus on. Whoever focuses on who? On Guru Harkrishan Parkash, Guru Harkrishan, Sri Harkrishan ਧਿਆਈਏ jis dithe. If you see him, and what will happen? All your dukh will go. Why ਧਿਆਈਏ and dithe? Two things. Let's think about this. When we're talking about somebody, sometimes we can sit here and we're trying to explain something to someone. We're talking to them, we're explaining something to them, and we'll say to them, Dekhya. And we'll say, do you see now? But there's nothing to see. We're explaining something to them. But what we're saying to them is, what we're saying, do you understand? Can you see it from inside now? Have you got that vision? And Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji is saying in Chandi Diwar in Sri Dasam Granth Sahib Ji, they're saying, Sri Harkrishan Tiyaye, whoever focuses on Guru Harkrishan Pacha Pav, whoever focuses on the life of Guru Harkrishan Pacha, whatever Guru Harkrishan Pacha ji did in their life, Tiyaye, jis dithe, whoever looks at their life from inside, sab dukh jaye and all their pains will go. Khair, Guru Sikh Pyareo, before Ram Rai went to Delhi, the Sangat often said, says Padshah Ji to Guru Har Rai Pacha, you are so lucky. Look at your sons. They're always meditating on Guru's Bani. Because they would come, the Sangat would come, and they would see Baba Ram Rai sitting with their eyes closed, and Guru Harkrishan Padshah Ji Pyareo. Our history writes beautifully. When I read this, it pierced my mind. They said when Guru Harkrishan Padshah was growing up, just when they got just old enough to be able to sit up with their own support. If you look at a child, how will they sit? When a child starts to sit up, they sit with their legs out. And slowly, their legs start to go in. And it could take even up to 2 years, but they said as soon as Guru Harkrishan Padshah Ji started to sit up, they said they could cross their legs. And it used to look from, as when they were a baby, it looked like they were sitting there in meditation. As a child, they could cross their legs as soon as they could sit up. And the other thing, our history writes beautifully, it says when Guru Harkrishan Padshah Ji, very young, learnt the Akhar of Gurmukhi, only about 3-4 years old. When they were about 3-4 years old and they would sit there and read and sing Gurbani, they said it felt as if the birds would even stop. And Guru Sikh Pyare, we're thinking this is just somebody's writing in poetry. But no, I've seen things like this for myself. I've been to a Gurdwara in India. I've been to a Nanaksar in India and called Bhai Ki Samad. Guru Sikh Pyareo, in the evening, when the Kirtan used to start, the Kirtan would start around about 5:30 in the evening. And something I witnessed myself, you'd look around at the trees and you couldn't see any birds. Soon as the Kirtan would start and the tabla would echo and the voice would start and Guru Nanak's Bani would be sang, I witnessed myself when I was 19 years old in year 2000, the trees would be filled with the birds. And when they would sing Gurbani, the Ragi would sing one line first and he'd ask the rest of the Sangat to sing Gurbani. The birds, you can hear them singing too. I've seen this myself. So imagine if the Guru, somebody that's going to become the Guru himself when he's 3-4 years old, he's sitting there reading Gurbani, Guru Sikh Pyareo, and they said the birds would stop and come and listen. And why were they singing Gurbani? Because they had rag inside of them. Gurbani says, Raga vich Sri Rag hai je sach tare pyar. Even in Gurbani, the first rag is Sri Rag. Sri Rag means the highest of rags. So does that mean the other rags are lower? No. Guru Nanak Parkash says, which is the highest rag? Which is the best rag? This says Sri Rag which, Raga which Sri Rag has. It said amongst all the rags, Raga which Sri Rag. Sri means the highest. What is the most highest rag with amongst all the rags? Je sach tare pyar. By listening to that rag, you are filled with love for the truth. And this, what Guru Harkrishan Padshah had inside. They had love for the truth for Guru Har Rai Padshah. So when they sang with that love, that's why birds would stop. Khair Guru Sikh Pyareo, they would both sit, both brothers, Guru Harkrishan Padshah and Baba Ram Rai, with their eyes closed. And they would meditate upon Vaheguruji's name, and the Sangat would come and praise Guru Har Rai Padshah and say, you're so lucky, look at your sons, both sitting there. And Padshah says, don't be fooled. This is, don't be fooled by what you see from the outside. Kaha pe ho do lochan moond ke. This is just because they've got their eyes closed from the outside. Kaha pe ho do lochan moond ke. Moond ke, just because their eyes are closed from outside. They said sometimes when somebody's got their eyes closed, they're sitting there like a crane. They are just waiting to open their eyes and grasp that fish. Khair Guru Sikh Pyareo, Padshah ne Guru Har Rai Padshah कहने लेकिन दे आलो सोटी They said to one of the Sangat members that said this, they said, take this stick and poke both of them. Our history writes this. Kavi Santokh Singh huni rakhde hai Suraj Prakash vich jedi katha hundi hai in the dances main darbar of this Gurdwara of Suraj Prakash by Kavi Santokh Singh. He writes that Guru Har Rai Paatshah gave this member of the Sangat a stick and they says, go and poke. You says you are so lucky to have sons like this. And they go over and Baba Ram Rai is sitting there with his eyes closed and they go and poke him. And he opens his eyes at once and turns around and says, what are you doing? And at the same time, as he's in a mess, he goes and pokes Guru Harkrishan Paatshah that is only about 4 years old. And Guru Paatshah is unaware of anything that has just happened to their body. In that same state that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah sat on the tavi when that hot pouring sand was poured upon their head, Guru Paatshah, even though their body was filled with blisters, Gursikh Pyareo, their inside was completely calm. They didn't once say see. Ek var vi siyuni chari. In that same manner, that same pagti form Guru Harkrishan Paatshah is saying. And because these type of tests were already put forward, now that Sama came, Guru Paatshah said that Ram Rai has gone against the house of Guru Nanak. Aj Guru Har Rai Paatshah ne, when Guru Harkrishan Paatshah is now the age of 5, and this is in now 1661, Guru Har Rai Paatshah did exactly what the other Gurus did. They've gone over to their 5-year-old son and did Matha Tek. Baba Gurdita Ji, the grandson of Baba Buddha Ji, comes forward, puts the tilak on Guru Harkrishan Paatshah, which tells the rest of the Sangha, this is the next Guru. Guru Harkrishan Paatshah Ji, Gurgati te Baraje. They've sat on the Gurgati. And Gursikh Pyareo, just as Guru Har Rai Paatshah is going to leave this body, keho je bachan kare ne, what are they saying to the Sangat? One of the last bachans that Guru Har Rai Paatshah said to the Sangat was, Jodo vi tusi pangat vich auna, jodo vi tusi sangat vich auna, tusi apna man har samay neema rakhna. Always keep your mind low. Never sit in ego in Sangat, otherwise you'll never be able to take anything away. You'll only be able to take something away from here if you come and lower yourself. This is the last things that Guru Har Rai Paatshah said to the Sangat. Upon saying these words, Guru Paatshah Ji left. Their sarir, their body. Guru Harkrishan Paatshah sits on the gaddi. Many people come to test Guru Harkrishan Paatshah Ji thinking a 5-year-old can't be a Guru. But they are surprised. They do many bachan. Our itihas, you'll be surprised, is filled pages upon pages upon pages of the bachans that Guru Harkrishan Paatshah used to do. They did a Diwan where it says a page full of just talking about case, just talking about death. Guru Harkrishan, people are now blown away thinking, a 5-year-old, this isn't a 5-year-old, this is Guru Nanak. When they're sitting there like a bujurg talking about death, talking about these type of things, talking about the true knowledge and wisdom of our inner soul, and people know, no, this is Guru Har Rai Paatshah. This is the same Guru. Khair Gursikh Pyareo, as it's always been happening, Ram Rai, the brother, starts to burn in jealousy. He says to Aurangzeb, you must call this Guru over. He has been told something by his father. And for that reason, you must call him over. He is going to grow older and he's going to turn against you. Aurangzeb said, what is it his father has said to him? He says, as his father, before my father left the world, he said to Guru Harkrishan Paatshah, ke us Malesh de tu kadi mathe nahi lagna, usnu darshan nahi dene. Malesh means uncivilized, referring to Aurangzeb, because Guru Har Rai Paatshah knows what he has done to his family. What did he do to Darashko, to his brother, to his father, even captured his own sister. He imprisoned them. He kept his father hungry. Khair Gursikh Pyaro, so Guru Har Rai Pacha did say these words to Guru Harkrishan Pacha ji. He says, if we try and avoid going to Delhi, but if you do ever have to go to Delhi, then never give darshan to Aurangzeb. And think about this. This is no small thing. It's very difficult. If the emperor of that time says, I want to do your darshan, how difficult is it going to be to say no? Remember, Khair. Ram Rai starts to say these things and fills the ears of Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb says, look, I don't want to get involved in your family affairs. You take whatever you want from me, I'm happy with you. He even gave him land. He told him to go to a place that was called Doon. Today we know as Dehradun. Because unne utthe jaake dera laya. Ram Rai ne oh ban gaya Dehradun. So this land was given to him by Aurangzeb, a beautiful mountainy area. But he still wasn't satisfied. Aurangzeb tried to explain to him, but then Ram Rai didn't stop. Ram Rai, then his last resort, what he said to Aurangzeb, he said to Aurangzeb, I know you love to see miracles. You think I'm good? You've got to see my brother. He's only 5 years old. If you see his miracles, you'll be taken away. Eventually, about 2 years went by. Aurangzeb has now heard that the glory of Guru Harkrishan Pacha is growing so much. So many people are now coming to do darshan, even Muslims, even fakirs, even Muslim saints, Hindu saints, jogis, celibates that have given up their life. This household ways that lived in the jungle have come to see Guru Harkrishan Pacha because they are feeling that sukh from them. And today, Aurangzeb decides finally, when Guru Pacha is now the age of 7, to send a letter. And he calls someone that he asks to send the letter via, somebody called Raja Jai Singh. And he said to Raja Jai Singh to go and send a letter to Guru Harkrishan Pacha ji Maharaj, unhanu bulaya jave, by somebody called Parsaram. Parsaram travels to Guru Harkrishan Pacha ji Maharaj, gives them the letter, and Jairam first, Raja Jairam sent a letter saying that you come to our bungalow. If you come to our mansions, that you don't worry, you don't have to see Aurangzeb, but just come to Delhi. Upon discussing with the Sangat agreed that it will be best that Guru Harkrishan Pacha ji goes to Delhi, because if they don't, Aurangzeb might send his army. So Khair Gursikh Pyareo, so much Sangat is now starting to come to Kirtpur Sahib when they hear that Guru Pacha is going to Delhi. And the Sangat says, Maharaji, we want to go with you. Maharaji is saying to everyone, it's going to be difficult to take everyone. Khair Sangatan naal tur paiyan Paatshah de. But it's taking them so long on the route because so much more Sangat starts to come. And Guru Harkrishan Pacha ji thinks that this is going to be very difficult. It's taking us already so many months to reach only not even halfway yet. So much Sangat is coming. And then Guru Harkrishan Pacha starts to send some of the Sangat back. The more Sangat Guru Harkrishan Pacha starts to send back, as they are going further, the more Sangat is coming. And then Guru Harkrishan Pacha ji stops at one place, and that place is called Panjokhara, which is today known as Gurdwara Sahib. Guru Harkrishan Pacha ji stop at this place. And it is close to a place called Ambala, on the outside of Punjab today. And when Guru Harkrishan Pacha stop at this place, Gursikh Pyareo, many people hear that Guru Harkrishan Pacha ji is here, and a Pandit also comes to hear of this. A Pandit, a scholar of the scriptures of the Veds, hear that Guru Harkrishan Pacha ji is here, and he starts to laugh. And he said, how old is he? He says, 7 years old. He says, what is his name? His name is Harkrishan. He says, go and ask this Guru. He calls himself Harkrishan. Does he even know anything about Krishan? He calls himself Harkrishan. Does he even know anything about the Gita? What Krishan ji has recited? He said, tell him to even at least tell me the translation to one slok, to one paragraph. from the Gita, the words of Krishan ji. It's so easy to just name yourself these things. And he's stuck with ego. And people come and do benti and said, Maharaj, say Guru Padshah, we don't know how to say this. But there's a scholar of the Veds, of the scriptures, of the 4 Vedas. He's saying that, Maharaj, we don't know how to say this, but he's saying that your name is Harkrishan, comes from Krishan. And even though Padshah's name wasn't named Harkrishan for that reason, but we're not going to get into that. And they said that, do you even know anything about the Gita? The sloks that have been recited by Krishan, can you even translate them? And Padshah ji smiled, remained calm and said, can they Sikho? Remember, this is a 7-year-old Guru. The body of a 7-year-old, but the Guru is Guru Nanak, the travelling light of Guru Nanak. And Guru Harkrishan Padshah said, they said, if I start to translate the Gita to him, he will then say, the Pandit's name was Pandit Lal Chand. He says that Lal Chand will start to say that he is born in the Guru's house. He must have been taught these things. He must have had the greatest education. They've got all the right people around them. And it says, tell him to go and find someone that is illiterate. Go and tell him to find someone for me. And then he will then translate the Gita. And Lal Chand, laughing, goes around the village. And who does he pick? He picks somebody that is Bola, and he picks somebody that is Gunga. Bola means somebody that can't hear. Gunga means somebody that can't talk. He picks somebody from the house of a chivar. Chivar meaning the water carriers, that carries water for people's houses. He picks someone of that he thinks to be of low caste, that aren't even allowed to read the scriptures. So knowing that, how can he have any gyan, any knowledge of these scriptures? Khair Guru Sikh Pyareo, ਉਸ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਸੀਗਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਲਿਖਦਾ ਆ ਛੱਜੂ ਝੂਰ ਕਰਕੇ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ। ਉਹਨੂੰ ਲਿਆਂਦਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਗਿਆ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ। He's brought him in front of Guru Padshah. And ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਮਿਹਰ ਭਰੀ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਕੀਤੀ। ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ glanced at him. Padshah used to have this stick in their hand. And Padshah puts that stick on Shajju's head. And remember, it's not the stick that's got the power. It's the Guru. Samrat Guru Sir Hath Taryo. When the all-powerful Guru puts his hand upon somebody's head. And what can that person do then? Samrat Guru Sir Hath Taryo. When Guru Harkrishan Ji Padshah ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਹੱਥ ਜਦੋਂ ਧਰਿਆ ਛੱਜੂ ਦੇ ਸਿਰ ਉੱਪਰ ਤਾਂ ਛੱਜੂ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਅਰਥ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਪਿਆ ਗੀਤਾ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੰਡਿਤ ਲਾਲ ਚੰਦ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਹੱਕਾ ਬੱਕਾ ਰਹਿ ਗਿਆ। That those type of translations that Shajju did at that time, Pandit Lal Chand hadn't even heard himself. He couldn't even translate the Gita in that manner. He was taken back so much he falls at once at the feet of Guru Harkrishan Ji Padshah and Guru Sikh Pyareo. And today some people doubt these type of things, that how can this have happened? But they don't know what our Guru says. Remember one thing, apni Guru di Bani aakhdi hai ke Pingal Parbat Par Pare. Let's listen to our Guru's Bani. Kende Pingal Parbat Par Pare Khal Chatar Bakita. What is our Guru's Bani saying? Guru's Bani is saying, Kende Pingal Parbat. Pingal means a cripple. Pingal Parbat. Parbat meaning a mountain. Pingal Parbat Par Pare. Par meaning gets to the other side. Our Guru's Bani is saying that even a cripple can get to the other side of a mountain. Pingal Parbat Par Pare Khal Chatar Bakita. Khal meaning a great fool, not just a normal fool, the fool of all fools. Meaning somebody that has no knowledge, that knows nothing. And Guru Sahib says that even somebody, a great fool like this, Khal Chatar, Chatar meaning clever and wise. Bakita means starts to speak. Even if he doesn't know how to speak, but even him, somebody, such a great fool like that can start to speak wise words. How? Andale tir bhavan sujya. The second line to this Bani. Pacha saying, Andale tir bhavan sujya. How? Andale tir bhavan sujya. Gurpet punita. Gursikh pyareo. Pacha ji di Bani ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅੰਦਲੇ, even if somebody is blind, ਅੰਦਲੇ tir bhavan sujya, he can see the three worlds, never mind this world. Andale tir bhavan sujya. How? How is all of this possible? Gurpet punita. Pet means to meet. When you meet the Guru. When you meet the Guru, Gurpet punita. Punita means he makes you pure. When you meet the Guru, he can make a cripple get over the mountain. Now what does this really mean? What did this Sakhi of Shajuchi even really mean for us? Yes, let us not doubt that he physically was Bola. He physically was Gunga. He couldn't hear. He couldn't speak. And the Guru physically made him hear. The Guru physically made him speak. But what does this mean for us? That even if we don't know how to speak, even if we speak bitter words, even if we speak harsh words, even if what the words that we speak are out of context of the Guru, but when we meet the Guru, he will teach us how to speak sweet words. When we meet the Guru, Gursikh Pyareo, he will teach us how to get across the mountain of attachment. Even if we're crippled and we are stuck in this mud of attachment, he will give us the power to get across the mountain of this attachment, this world. Even if we are blind in ignorance, even if we can't see the truth and realize what we really are, even if we think we are just this body and we don't realize that we are from Akal Purkh Waheguru, he will make us see the three worlds, meaning he will get us to realize what this world really is about. He will get to make us see the three worlds inside of us. What are the three worlds inside of us? The three worlds, Guru Sahib said, there are three worlds on the outside. There's this world where we live, and then there's the heavenly world, as we can call it. And then there's the world that is below us, and you can call that world where the demons exist. Guru Maharaj will make us realize the three worlds. That which world are we living in? Are we living in the world of the demons? Is that how we are living? Are we drowning ourselves in intoxication? Are we becoming like that Rakesh, like that cannibal? Are we eating the flesh of people today? Meaning, are we living a life of fraud? Are we drinking the blood of people? And it will give us the knowledge of the three worlds that we are living in inside of our own self. Jo Brahmande, so Pinde, Jo Khoje, so Pave, Guru Sahib says. Whatever is in the world, Jo Brahmande, so Pinde is in this world as well, the world of our body. It will make us realize, are we living in this world? Meaning, are we living like true human beings? Have we got a human nature? Where our nature is going out to those people that are feeling pain and we want to go out and help them? Are we living maybe like that heavenly world, like Devte, like the deities, meaning of a higher birthi, of a higher mindset, where we're living a pure life? This is what this means, that the Guru will help us to hear the right thing. If Guru Sahib is saying that bring somebody that can't hear, their meaning, when we only like to listen to slander and gossip, that means we are like deaf people. We can't really hear. When we can't hear the truth, it's like we can't really hear anything. Guru Sahib says, bring someone to me, even if they only listen to slander and gossip and lies with these ears. But Gurpet, Punita, when you meet the Guru Gurpet, when you meet the true Guru like Guru Harkrishan Sahib ji, Sri Harkrishan Tiyaiye jis dithe, when you see Guru Harkrishan Pacha ji, then Gurpet, Punita, he will make these ears pure. He will make these ears to hear the jas of Akal Purkh, the praise of Waheguru Ji Akal Purkh. He will make these ears hear only now the truth. When somebody sits in front of you and starts to slander, you will remember the words of Bhai Gurdas Ji, How tis kol kamaya, पर निंदा सुन आप हटावे. When somebody starts slandering other people in front of you, you'll say, stop. I don't want to hear this. Or if you can't say stop, you will get up and walk away because you will now become fearless. You won't fear what the people are saying of the world. This is what this means. This is what Shajjuchi means. We just appa sakhi sana danne ha. A lot of the times we just tell the sakhi, wow, this is a great miracle. Yes, it was a great miracle. Not for the Guru though. It's a miracle because that's only how far we can see. But the Guru is much greater. For that is something very normal for the Guru. If we are deaf, like Shajju, but deaf because we are only listening to lies, come to the Guru, he will purify these ears. Gurpet punita. If we can't speak, if we are gunge meaning, so he couldn't physically speak, if we only can speak lies, if we can only speak bitter, if we only slander with this tongue, then it is like we are like gunge. We might as well be gunge. But if we take that same mouth to the Guru, Gurpet punita, he will purify and will start speaking the truth. Instead, we'll stop slandering the world, we'll stop praising the world, the people of the world, because even praise, Guru Sahib says, raise above that. This is only praise, Waheguruji, only praise that person that is sitting inside of them. Somebody once said to Bhai Veer Singh, this is Bhai Veer Singh, this is, you are so great, your poetry, look at you. You jump so much naam, and Bhai Veer Singh, this is what are you talking about? This is kaat ki putri kaha kare bapri khilavan haro jane. This is what can this wooden puppet do? Can't you see who is pulling my strings? Praise that person who is pulling the strings. Don't praise the body. Praise that one that is inside of them. That one that has put that jot inside of you. Without that jot, we can't even breathe one breath. It's because that jot we are living. Praise the one, the puppeteer, not the puppet. Kaat ki putri kaha kare bapari khilavan haro jane, the one that is playing. He knows. Khair Gursikh Pyareo. This is what happens when we go. If we are like Shajju today, if we are bole gunge, if we can't hear, if we can't speak, if we are just like Shajju today, if we don't know how to speak the Guru's language, if we don't know how to listen to the praise, go to Guru Harkrishan Pacha Ji today. Today, you can go to Guru Harkrishan Pacha. Because Guru Gobind Singh Ji says, Siri Harkrishan Tiya ye. Dhyan karo Guru Harkrishan Pacha Ji da. Think of him, meditate on him, focus on Guru Harkrishan Pacha. Think about, look what he did for the world. Just ditte sab dukh jai. If you see that inside of yourself, your pain will go. The pain, what is the pain? The pain is when we lie. That is what is killing us. It's killing our soul. It's killing our spiritual journey. Slandering, praising, it's killing us. That is the pain. Just ditte sab dukh jai. He will take away these pains and he will fill us with attributes, with qualities, with forgiving nature, with being loving, with being caring, with being sweet. Khair Gursikh Pyareo, keval 5 minute reh gaya. I'm not going to even attempt to go further. I've taken a lot longer than I thought I would. I actually was worried, thinking throughout the weeks, thinking that what will I do when I come to Guru Harkrishan Ji Patsha? We've not even got to Delhi yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to merge Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, because Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji is upon the earth as well, remember? Because Sheme Patsha they came in the house of the 6th Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. They are Guru Harkrishan Patsha Ji's Baba, grandfather's brother. Because their grandfather is Baba Gurditta Ji, and the brother of Baba Gurditta Ji is Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, se jo apne babe de bhra lage ne, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, oh vi dharti upar ne. So what we'll do next week is we'll merge the two Jivans together. Because Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, I won't spoil it. We'll wait for next week. Khair, I get carried away sometimes. So Maharaj ne badi kirpa kiti, ekagrata de naal, everybody was completely focused and listening about Guru Harkrishan Pacha. So Guru Harkrishan Pacha, we've still got about 2 to 3 more sakhiyan about them yet. They're going to get to Delhi yet. So khair, so itniyan bentiyan parwan karniyan. एक नहीं पर अनेका ही गलतियां हो गई होंगियां, अनजान बच्चा समझ के माफ़ कर देना। आओ गज वज के बलाओ फतेह। वाहे गुरु जी का खालसा, वाहे गुरु जी की फतेह।